Hey guys, welcome back to the Laid Back Homestead. I'm Crystal and today is garden tour day. Garden tours always excite me, not so much just doing them myself, but I love watching other people's garden tours. I love learning what other people are growing. I am a complete and utter seed nerd, so I'm always fascinated by what other people are growing. So before I even get this tour started, I want you to comment down below what cool things are you growing right now in your yard. Now, let me show you what cool things I'm growing in my yard. Our summer into fall transition. So here, row A, as I call it, we have our ridiculously tall plant. I don't know what it is. If you know what it is, please comment it down below. I know it was something I started from seed, but I don't have a single seed packet that matches this. I don't even know how to explain it. And then I'm afraid it may have the wilts. So I'm not sure if it'll even have a chance to bloom or do whatever it's gonna do. I mean, this may be exactly what it's gonna do. I don't know. If you know what it is, tell me. But have a volunteer watermelon still growing. We have our cabbages as well as our broccolis in the back. And then we have our black-eyed peas still going strong. I'm hoping to get a harvest before New Year's. And we still have our Thai pepper. Moving into our second bed, I have not rolled this one over. As you can see, the watermelon volunteer is still going strong. It's not quite time to harvest that guy yet, but hopefully soon. And then we also have more Thai peppers growing. This seems to be the year of the Thai peppers. And back here, we have our pepperoncinis, which I'm actually going to harvest these because I want to pickle them. Oh my, look what I just found when I was harvesting. Isn't that so cool? I'm pretty sure that's lacewing larvae. Here to do the damage control for the aphids. Need to get those bad boys in my greenhouse. I decided to come check my watermelon. I do see that the tendril is crispy, and if I give it a thump, I'll have to see about that. Moving into our third bed, my snapdragons are finally blooming again now that the heat, we had a little reprieve from the heat. It's going to be quite hot this week, but we had just enough of a break for my bell peppers that are in beds to start producing. And then we have some fall tomatoes. We have like cream sausage back there. This is a garden paste. And I believe this is also a garden paste. We have some volunteer cucumbers that came up. And my cucumber plant that I actually thought was quite deceased has bounced back from the heat as well. And I'm still getting some yummy cucumbers. We also have in this bed some more of the Chinese cabbage, as well as some broccolis and cauliflowers. And then in this corner, we have a black brandywine. That was my largest tomato that I harvested this year, was off of the black brandywine. So I decided that that would be my slicer that I grow for fall. So this is where the garden tour gets interesting. I have several guguta growing, or kukuza, depending on how you want to say it. They are all quite ready to be harvested, and I'm going to do that today. And we have down here some tomatoes also in this bed. These are all like sauce varieties, paste varieties, just so I can make some salsa. And then I do have an amazing cauliflower right there. This guy has just not been doing as well. This is a Brad's Atomic grape, and he just can't seem to get it together. So I may yank him out and plant somebody else there, but we have got to harvest these guys. And the biggest one of all, these things will feed an army. And if you're interested in ways on preserving this, or how to cook this, how to utilize this, I already have one video out with recipes that use this squash, but I'm also going to be doing another video soon on how to cook this and get it into your freezer to preserve it. So if that's something you'd be interested in, I encourage you to subscribe because that video should be coming out shortly. This thing is massive. Oh, this thing is quite heavy. This will literally feed a crowd. I'm gonna need a bigger basket. Now that I'm winded from moving all of that out of the way, you can see this bed, we haven't finished planting out. I have a couple more tomatoes to go back there. They're just not quite ready yet. And then here, we are in row B, making our way up. I have my poblano, which finally started to set fruit again after the heat. I need some help. I have never been able to grow a large poblano. I'd love to grow, you know, the big ones to make chili rellenos and stuff. But doesn't matter what I do. It seems like I always end up like with smaller ones. If you have any tips, please comment them down below. I have here more of our Chinese cabbage, which we planted a while ago. So you can see these guys are well established, taking off. Same with our green magic broccoli in the back. I don't have anything planted along that trellis yet. I think it'll be peas. I'm just not sure which pea variety I'm going to go with. This bed here, we haven't planted out with the fall crops yet. We're letting the summer stuff, see my friends there, it's tons of butterflies on these zinnias, tons, all the time. Oh, it's getting windy. Now, in this bed, I do have peanuts growing, so that's nice. They don't look like they're actually doing as good as my peanuts in my buckets and in my grow bags, but I think that's because they were shaded out for so long. So my bell peppers in my beds now are finally producing again. If you've been seeing any of my other garden tour videos, I mentioned this several times. Growing them hydroponically, they never quit producing all summer long. But in my beds, they do. And now that it's cooled off a little bit, they're back to producing. This guy was planted out super late. I believe this is called Sweet Moruga. He has never produced until now. I'm finally getting some pods. In this bed I know has wilt. I just recently lost this pepper plant to the wilt. I haven't pulled it up yet because I don't know. In here, I have peas. I just planted along that trellis line yesterday, so those are not up yet. We do have a little bit, we chopped our basil down, as you can see. And so that'll probably come back with a vengeance anyway. But I have another bell pepper over there. Unfortunately though, like I said, due to the wilt, he probably won't make it. And another gugusa plant. These were all volunteers. This one produced once and then never again. And the ones in the back, as you can see, the chaos, ones in the back, we just harvested a whole bunch. So we'll see if we get any more before the seasons roll over. So I had ran a little experiment. I planted out 2 Chinese cabbages straight from my greenhouse. And you can see these were the first ones planted out. They were not hardened off though. And look how sad they are. This is a reminder to always properly harden off your plants, because these were planted out 2 weeks after those. All started from seed at the same time. So they all started at seed at the same time. But these had a hardening off period. And as you can see, they are just doing so much better than their other counterparts. Now, coming over to our fire pit garden, AKA our grow bags and our hydroponics. I just did a whole hydroponic overhaul and harvesting video. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. We rolled it over for fall. We have our Brassicas. This guy's been planted out for a while. You can see we have had some caterpillar damage. I make it a point now to come out every single morning and check the leaves and squish anybody who shouldn't be here. I did this already once today, so I don't have any worms to show you. And then on the other side is where I'm running our cotton ball experiment, where we started the seeds directly in the cotton ball in the hydroponic system. Our sugar cane doing mighty fine. I have not really done anything to take care of this other than put some water in his bucket, and it seems to be doing great. Now, not everything is glorious here. My eggplants have seen better days. But what happened was these became a trap crop for stink bugs, and I just let it happen. Now, I am going to remove those because the eggplant plant itself is indeed flowering again and trying to set some fresh, healthy fruit. So I'm going to get that off of there. Quite nasty. And to the compost in place you go. So my hydroponic peppers are producing. They've never stopped, but I am running into sun scald issues. So hopefully we'll get a little reprieve in the heat and the sun after next week, and these guys won't have to deal with so much intense pressure. I did go ahead and add in a tomato to this system. It's a Brad's Atomic grape. It is our favorite grape cherry variety. Just see if I get anything for fall. Now here in my grow bags, I do have some carrots, and I'm not harvesting these yet because I'm doing a special video on carrots from seed to harvest with my method of starting carrot seeds, kind of like a carrot seed hack. So I'm waiting to harvest that. And then here we have peanuts. These are not ready. They will tell you when they're ready. A lot of these bags are just weeds. This does have a few beets in it, but this one I started working on today because this is where I will be planting out my next batch of fall carrots. And then moving along, a lot of these, because they had wilt, I kind of just gave up on them. But again, peanuts are supposed to be susceptible to wilt, and I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. I'm apparently growing a large collection of ferns here. Yes, yes. We do have, I think this is the Chili de Arbol. We have our Mad Hatters in some grow bags. These did well in grow bags, but they did exponentially better in hydroponic system. And then we have some more Mad Hatters and some more sad looking poblanos. And most of these bags, unfortunately, had some level of wilt. So these will be getting converted over into a new hydroponic system for next spring. So my green stock, the only thing living in it right now is a volunteer sun gold tomato. Comes back every year. Seems to be a thing. And my herbs. I want to do a complete overhaul of this, but I have not had great luck with green stalks actually producing for me. So we will see. My back row over there, again, grow bags, I have some more peanuts. They should have been dead because of wilt, but here we are. And then some more Thai peppers. Okay, well, this is interesting. This was an MG Leopold that at one point was doing really well, but I had a huge amount of basil grow up in here that my husband recently cut down, and I didn't realize how bad this guy looked. But I've already harvested a bunch, so all of these are going to just be rolled over to fall. Same as over here. These just aren't really producing. The basil did great. This is the first time I've ever had a black beauty not produce abundantly in my yard. So I'm a little confused about that. So again, I think I'm going to roll these over for fall. I had some garlic growing in here as well that I never harvested because I don't think they ever actually did anything. I think they just got too shaded out. And then my fireball plant looking lovely as ever. My little herb planter is doing okay. We chopped back all the basil. Got a few weeds in there need to come out, some rosemary. And I'm going to come out and put more fall herbs in there shortly. And then my DWC buckets, I have not decided what I want to put in there for fall. I am still debating on it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. And then in my self-wicking watering containers, I have one Chinese cabbage as well as an eggplant that just now started to set fruit. In this self-watering container, I have a San Marzano that had stopped setting fruit in the heat of the summer, but is now back to giving me little baby tomatoes. So that's exciting. This is our table of goodness, my hardening off area. We have all kinds of things. from cheddar cauliflowers to purple cauliflowers to cabbages, regular cabbages, Brussels sprouts that I haven't up potted yet, and then some things I recently up potted. We are just rolling right along. Now, all of my Brussels sprouts, because my yard, it's funny with the sunlight during the winter, they are all going to go in those rows over there, row C over there, because that area gets the most light, and I'm hopeful to actually get some Brussels sprouts this year. My coleus looking nice. Now here again, I have a volunteer tomato. I'm not sure. The rest of these are empty except for my peanuts. So hopefully I'll be able to get a harvest of peanuts soon. I am itching to make some boiled peanuts. Yes. And then in my pots, I just have a bunch of green beans because I have not gotten a green bean harvest yet this year. I did not place enough emphasis on them in the early spring, and then it got too hot. So fingers crossed for a bean harvest soon. Now, I've mentioned we just recently did a basil harvest. And as you can see, there's a lot of basil. I can almost guarantee that my backyard smells better than yours right now, unless you too have a line of basil. Every time the wind blows, that's all you smell. It's amazing. Now here I have a green eggplant. This is my first year growing the green eggplants, and they have produced so much better than my black beauties, which just has really surprised me. So if you're looking for ways to preserve your eggplants or recipe ideas to help you preserve your eggplant into the winter, I encourage you again to subscribe because that video will be coming out soon. So normally I carry around my harvest basket while I'm doing different tours and harvests, but this guy is so heavy. But I do have our eggplants, and I did harvest the butternut squash out of my greenhouse because these are going to be treated together as winter squashes in that preservation video. Now coming over to row C, the backside of my yard, we recently chopped and dropped these like a day ago. You can see I've got a little zinnia accidentally got knocked over there. But for the most part, this is my sweet potato experiment. This side was the whole sweet potatoes thrown in. This side was me pulling the slips off separately, rooting them in water, and then planting them out. Now, this side does look like it's growing much more vigorously, but this side was the first side to flower. So, I don't know if you can see it. The flower is closed at the moment, but it was open yesterday. And so my thought process is, does that mean this side's making sweet potatoes faster than that side? I don't know. I can't wait to harvest that before Thanksgiving and see what we get, because that's going to be awesome. And then in this bed, this one, like I said, we just chopped and dropped yesterday. I'm going to come out with a bag of compost this week, and we are going to plant out. This will probably be dedicated to Brussels sprouts and onions, because those are the two things, maybe garlic as well, because those are the three things that I struggle to grow religiously in my backyard. And I think it's because of lack of sun. So this will be my first time having a fall garden on this side of my yard. And my poor Satsuma tree, half of it is dying. I would not consider myself a fruit tree expert. I did save this guy. When we moved in, he was completely overtaken by his rootstock. We pruned him back hard, and he produced for us a lot. But we had snow last year, and I thought he was doing okay. But now I see that one whole side of him is dead. So if you have any suggestions on what would be causing that, please let me know down below. I would love to save this guy if I can. So this is my current garden status for mid-September. I'm sure I will be continuously planting out over the next couple of weeks, and then I'll do another complete garden tour once everything is out and growing. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're into gardening and homesteading content, I encourage you to subscribe. And until next time, stay blessed.